Hello and welcome to Money Control. I'm Karunya Rao and with me is Manisha Gupta. And today, as we close the year 2022, we'll
dressed in purple, both of us.
Yes. Well, not really in the pink of health or in mood. No mood to work actually. But yeah, the show must go on. So we're here to get you an update on metal space today before we put a close to this year. Metals, of course, has been one of the biggest themes of the year gone by. And when you look at it, some of them have scaled to lifetime highs during the course of the year, but they have significantly cooled off as well. So overall, how would you say the year has panned out for metals?
I think it made a lot of money for people, investors clearly, because metal stocks, metal as price has moved so much that if you were, trading that wave, you did make a lot of money. Let's say that first. Yes, we did see all-time highs for copper, aluminum, nickel, zinc hit a 16-year highs. Iron ore prices made all-time highs last year. Steel prices hit multi-year highs as well. So it was a great year, the first half that is, and that is when you were dealing with Russia-Ukraine war, strong demand after we came back from COVID, and then supply concerns because of the war. The freight prices were still on the higher side, supply chain not yet in, miners were still starting up, labor was not there as well. So there was a lot of stuff happening, and that took the prices high. And then came the China zero COVID policy, and we didn't see a sanction on metal exports from Russia. So all of that brought the prices much on the lower side, and the demand wasn't so great as well. So that became a story of no demand rather than supply concerns there. The last quarter saw some buying coming in yet again, is the reason we are closing on off the lows but very off the highs as well.
So it's been a very oscillating sort of move.
Yes.
Every quarter, I mean, almost there has been a wild sort of move coming by. But tell us about the big winners and the big losers within the metal space. Who are the ones that are ending the year on a negative note?
All of them, barring nickel, I believe, because nickel is still more than 40% on the higher side. But the tragedy with nickel is that you have lost almost all volumes on LME because of that short squeeze that we saw, and nickel prices gained up by 54% in matter of 2 days, hit a high of $100,000, and then LME said no, the true value is at $50,000. So we are closing at around $30,000 right now, but that is also nearly a 48% of a hike in the prices. From its highs, of course, we are starting trading in the negative here. For a nickel, it is all about the battery demand that you can expect going forward, and all eyes on Indonesia. That is when it becomes slightly jittery. When one country holds 50% of a metal, anything that moves in sense of policy or goes wrong, you see the whole
That's
supply
what happened
chain.
with oil and gas when Russia started, putting those sanctions.
Oh yes.
Okay, but the big question right now is how will now 23 be for metal investors and traders? Should you stay cautious at least in the first half, or should you start buying at these levels given how significantly they've cooled off?
So I think it goes as we've seen other asset classes also do. First half is going to be slightly cautious, uncertain, jittery, because we are getting into a new year with expectation that there could be a mild recession, let's say, or a slowdown in other countries. And yes, there is inventories into the market, and with China COVID policies, even as they are taking it back, but other countries are now putting restrictions. We've seen that happen from India, US, Japan, Thailand, Taiwan. UK is considering putting restrictions on Chinese travelers, so that doesn't sound so good. That could again lead to a lot of erratic moves coming in for prices. So first half not so great, but second half, yes, as things start to move better, and as we see most of the interest rate hike cycle done with behind us, and the demand from EVs and renewables starts coming in, second half looks way better than the first half.
And which are the ones to keep on your watch list for 2023, the big names from the metal basket?
Copper and aluminum is something that I would look forward to.
Not nickel.
Not so much nickel, because as I said, it still needs to come back, earn trust, get the volumes coming back, running back again. That's not happening yet. So copper, we are looking at inventories much on the lower side. Same is the case with aluminum, very fragmented. Power rationing is still on in Europe and China, so there are concerns for aluminum as well. And aluminum as a metal is really friendly, right from your aluminum foil to it being used in cans, to washing machines, to planes, to EVs. The usage is way higher.
Absolutely. And I was looking at a grid in one of the news reports of different asset classes and how they've performed this year, and gold has topped the list.
Oh, yes.
So I don't want to end the conversation, by just talking about metals, but also gold. I mean, 11-12% up move seen for returns seen for the year 2022. Very, very fantastic. And I think it has happened when last year gold was the least performing or the weakest performing asset class. So fabulous comeback Will that comeback sustain this year as well, or do you think most of these inflation and recession related concerns have been priced in, and gold also could see some profit taking in the coming year?
So even if gold does go in for a profit taking, I don't think it has too much downside to go in, because cost of making gold right now is $1,500 to $1,580 per ounce. We've seen a low of $1,600 per ounce in this year already. So how much lower can it go? It won't go so much lower. We already are looking at mines
So
at
1,600 is a good support.
I think 1,575 at max. We don't expect gold prices going further down. But all the risks that you just mentioned, and if they are there, where we believe they could be there, because the war is still going on, the inflation is still on the higher side of the range, recession concerns are real, economic data continues to be on the weaker side. So yes, gold could be your gainer in the next year as well. And as you said, 11% of gains. So all the international equities are in the negative. Indian equities are just about 2 to 4% on the higher side. Bonds haven't given you so much. The dollar index, yes, gained up much higher, but that also is up by nearly 8%, 7% in this year, while gold has given you 12 to 14% of returns here. So well, by far,
the wise woman has been speaking all year in favor of gold and silver. So if you've been watching us, I'm sure you also would have gained, if not monetarily, then at least in terms of insights, and you will ploy these insights next year, hopefully, if you've missed the bus this time around. And on that upbeat, optimistic note, we'll wrap up the final conversation for 2022 on commodities. Thank you for watching. Have a great year. We'll see you all in 2023 now.